We've all been there, right? That moment a hot, sticky day finally just breaks. Today, we're going to dive into how the poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow captured that exact feeling and found this incredible meaning in something as simple as rain. Just think about it for a second. That sweltering summer day where the air is so thick you can practically taste it. Do you remember that feeling when the sky finally gives in and those first cool drops start to fall? Well, that exact sensation is where our whole journey begins. And boom, with these simple, powerful words, Longfellow kicks off his poem, Rain in Summer. He doesn't just describe the rain, he straight up declares its beauty, and he immediately ties it to that feeling of relief from the dust and heat. So Longfellow starts with a feeling that's pretty much universal, just welcome relief. He's an absolute master at tapping into an experience we can all understand on this really deep sensory level. Notice what he's doing here. He isn't starting with a character or some big event. He's grounding us in pure emotion. That first line, "How beautiful is the rain," it's basically a sigh of relief turned into poetry. It's like a collective exhale after a long, hot day. So once he's established that feeling we all get, Longfellow takes us on a bit of a tour. He shows us how a single storm can look and sound completely different depending on where you happen to be standing. And here it is, the poem's central contrast laid out plain and simple. In the city, the rain is this loud, chaotic, urban symphony. But out in the country, that same rain becomes a quiet, welcome blessing. It's this moment of deep, natural renewal. I mean, just listen to those words. Clatters, gushes, struggles. It's almost violent, isn't it? The rain here isn't gentle. It's this powerful force smashing against hard surfaces, creating this symphony of really intense, almost industrial sounds. You can practically hear that water fighting its way through the gutters. And then a total 180. The tone just shifts completely. Out in the country, there's no clatter. There's just this deep sense of a need finally being met. The focus isn't on the sound at all, but on the absorption, the life-giving power of that water sinking into the thirsty, dry grass and the drier grain. So after setting up these two very different scenes, Longfellow zooms in even closer. He shows us that even during the same storm, the rain means something different to every single person. We're going to look at three specific points of view. Right, so you've got the sick man, the schoolboys, and the farmer. For one guy, the rain is medicine. For the next, it's a playground. And for the third, well, it's money in the bank. Three people, one event, three totally different realities. First, let's think about the sick man. He's stuck in his room, he has a fever. And for him, the rain isn't just background noise. It's actually an agent of healing. It's a break in the oppressive heat, a cooling touch from the outside world. The link here is so direct and physical. The coolness of the rain literally calms his fevered brain. He doesn't just enjoy it, he breathes a blessing on it. He finds this moment of pure therapeutic peace. Okay, now let's pivot to a completely different kind of energy. While the sick man is finding quiet, the schoolboys, just let out of their lessons, find the exact opposite. For them, the rain turns a boring old street into a world of adventure. I just love that line. More than their wanted noise and commotion. The storm basically just amps up their natural kid energy. The gutters become these roaring oceans for their little toy boats, their mimic fleets, making the rain a catalyst for imagination and, just chaotic fun. And finally, we meet the farmer. His view isn't about feeling better right now or about playing games. His perspective is grounded, it's practical, and it's all about the future. He's watching the rain with the eyes of a businessman. The poem makes a really important point here. The farmer isn't being greedy, he's just being practical. He looks at those raindrops and sees the direct promise of a healthy crop, of being able to provide. For him, the beauty of the rain is his livelihood. So we've seen what the poem describes. Now let's dig into how Longfellow actually does it. How does he make these images so incredibly vivid? Well, he uses a few key poetic tricks to bring the rain to life. First up is the simile. This is a classic tool you probably remember from English class. It's just a comparison using the words like or as. It's how a poet can take something familiar, like rain, and make us see it in a totally new way by comparing it to something unexpected. And here they are in action. The rain doesn't just hit the roof, it sounds like the tramp of hoofs. The gutter isn't just full, it roars like a river. The wide, patchy fields look like a leopard's hide. These comparisons create instant, really powerful images in our minds.
But Longfellow doesn't just want us to see the rain. He wants us to hear it. And he does this with automatopoeia, which is just a fancy word for when a word mimics the sound it describes. Like buzz or crash. It's basically the key to the poem's entire soundtrack.
Seriously, just listen to these words out loud. Clatters, gushes, roars. You don't just read them, you can actually hear them. This isn't just a description of the rain, it's the sound of it, putting you right there on that city street. Okay, so let's zoom back out. After looking at the scenes, the people, and the poetic tools, what's the poem's ultimate message? What is Longfellow really trying to say about the rain? And this really brings us to the core idea of the poem. The rain itself never actually changes. It's the same water falling on the city as it is on the country. What changes is us, our perspective. The rain becomes a kind of mirror, reflecting our own internal state back at us, our need for calm, our desire for adventure, or our hope for a good harvest. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? Longfellow took this simple, everyday event and found all these layers of meaning inside it. So the question for us is, what ordinary moment in our own lives, a sunrise, that first cup of coffee, the walk home, what holds that same kind of hidden beauty if we just take a second to really look?